Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you are new, my name is Kenya Sims, and so today we will be talking about trusting the process, and I am super excited to share this word with you today. But before we dive into the message, I just needed to do some things for me. I want you to take a deep breath in, out, smile, and now I want you to look to the right side of your screen, and I want you to press that subscription button, and then I want you to think of a friend. Oh yeah, that friend that you are thinking of, I want you to share this message with them because they need this message too, as the goal is to inspire nation. So today we will be talking about trusting the process. And as we know, trusting the process is not always easy. It can be a difficult task when you are placed in a situation where you are uncomfortable, when you are out of your comfort zone, and you are required to trust the process. When your back is held up against the wall and you feel as if everything is going wrong, but then you are required to trust the process. I know it is not always easy, but it is worth it. Trusting the process allows us to increase our faith and to know who we are in Christ. And so today we will be looking at Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and also Daniel. We will be looking at this particular character in the Bible. We find Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in Daniel chapter 3 when it talks about the fiery furnace, and we find Daniel in chapter 6 of Daniel 6 where it talks about Daniel being thrown into the lion's den. So in Daniel chapter 3, Nebuchadnezzar, who was the king at that present time, set up a golden image that was supposed to be worshipped. A rule was made that at the sound of the musical instrument, that each person should fall down and worship this particular image. And for those that refused to worship the image was going to be thrown into the fire. Now, these three Hebrews boys known as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, when the musical instrument was sound, they refused to bow. And so it was brought to Nebuchadnezzar's attention that these particular boys refused to bow at the sound of the musical instrument. So they were brought to Nebuchadnezzar, as you know. And Nebuchadnezzar asked them, why have you not bowed? And don't you know that if you don't bow, then this is the penalty? And the three Hebrews boys said unto Nebuchadnezzar, I will not bow, and my God will deliver me. But then they go on to say, and even if our God do not deliver us, we will not bow. And so the king got upset, and these three boys, they were thrown into the fiery furnace. And not only was the fire hot, but Nebuchadnezzar instructed that it was supposed to be heated 7 times more than the usual. And so the three Hebrews boys, they were thrown into the fiery furnace. And when they were thrown into the fire, they fell down and they started to worship God. No, Nebuchadnezzar was amazed, like, what is happening? How can I throw these men into fire and they are worshiping? Not only that, he saw 4 persons, and he said that the 4th had the appearance as the Son of God. And so Nebuchadnezzar asked that it was open for these men to come out. And he said that the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is to be served. No, Nebuchadnezzar was amazed by what happened. It has never happened before. These men weren't supposed to come out alive. But Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they trusted the process. They trusted what God was doing. They trusted that, guess what? God was going to deliver me. And though I feel as if I am in a situation where nothing is working out or nothing seems to be happening, God will deliver me. I will trust the process because I know the God that I serve. And so I want to encourage somebody, when you are thrown into the fire, remember that God will never leave and He will never forsake you. Remember that God is there with you. And when you fall into the fire, worship and remember that God will make a way out for you. And now we will be looking at Daniel in Daniel chapter 6. Now at that time the king was King Darius, and Daniel was favored by King Darius. He loved Daniel. But there were some particular men who did not like Daniel. And so they looked for ways to accuse Daniel. But they realized that the only way they could accuse him was by using something that had to do with Daniel's God. And so a decree was made, and it was said that they should not worship their God. But Daniel went up and he opened the window towards them, and he worshiped 3 times per day, because Daniel knew the God that he served. And so it was brought to the king's attention, but the king could not turn around it. He could not escape Daniel from it. And so Daniel was thrown into the lion's den. The king went up and his sleep left him because he loved Daniel. And so the king fasted for Daniel. But when the morning when they went, Daniel was alive. Daniel was there, and then nothing happened to him. His clothes was not ripped. There was nothing wrong with Daniel, because God sent an angel in the night and the lion's mouth was shut. And so I want to encourage somebody, trust the process. Trust the process. Whenever you are thrown into the fire, whenever you feel as if the devil is going to eat you up, whenever you feel as if you can't bear it anymore, whenever you feel as if life is crashing down on you, whenever you feel as if you want to throw in the towel and you want to give up, I want to encourage you to trust the process and know that the result in the end is worth it. The result in the end is worth it, and you will come out victorious. But you have to go through the process. In high school or university or primary school, we have to do exam in order to move on to another level, and this is called a process. But in order to move on to the next level, we have to be able to pass. And so when you are going through your trials, I want you to trust the process. Have faith and know that all things work together for them that love God. You will come out victorious. You will get through the process, but do not give up. Keep going and trust the process. You will be victorious. You will come out smiling. You will come out better than you are now. And the process is there to uplift you. The process is there to make you better. The process is there to strengthen you and make you into the wonderful woman and the wonderful man that you are to be, and for God to bring out what is inside of you so that others can be blessed by what God has placed on the inside. So trust the process. So we have reached the end of the video, and if you are still here, thank you very much for taking the time to go through this message, and I hope it helped, and I hope you feel better, and I hope you will learn to trust the process, and remember to share, and remember to like, And remember to subscribe. Also remember to comment, because your comments matters and I want to know what you think of this video. Bye everyone.